Sometimes a relationship does not end because two people stopped loving each other. Sometimes it ends because both people waited too long to say what was hurting. They waited until the silence became normal, until distance started feeling safer than honesty, until "I'm fine" became the easiest lie in the room. And by the time they finally looked at each other, it felt like something had already left. But a relationship is not always over when it feels heavy. Sometimes it is only asking to be noticed before it breaks. The scary part is that repair usually starts in quiet moments, not dramatic ones. It starts when one person stops trying to win and starts trying to understand. It starts when the goal is no longer to prove who was right, but to remember why this person still matters. Because most couples do not lose each other in one big moment. They lose each other in small, repeated moments. A tone that gets colder, a message that gets ignored, a hurt that gets dismissed, a conversation that gets avoided, a touch that does not happen anymore. And slowly, both people begin protecting themselves from the same relationship they once felt safe inside. One becomes quieter, the other becomes sharper. One stops asking, the other stops explaining. And both start believing the other person does not care. But often underneath all that distance, there is still pain. And pain is not the same as indifference. Pain means something still mattered enough to hurt. The first sign a relationship can still be repaired is not that everything feels good. It is that both people still feel something. Even frustration, even sadness, even disappointment. Because the opposite of love is not always anger. Sometimes the real danger is emotional numbness, when nobody reacts anymore. Nobody tries anymore. Nobody expects anything anymore. So if there is still emotion, there may still be a door. But repair needs honesty without attack. It needs one person brave enough to say, "I miss how we used to feel," instead of, "You ruined everything." It needs the kind of conversation where nobody performs strength. Where both people can admit, "I have been hurt," without turning it into a weapon. Because a relationship cannot heal if every truth becomes a trial. It cannot soften if every sentence becomes evidence. Sometimes the sentence that changes everything is not complicated. It is, "I do not want us to keep becoming strangers." That kind of honesty can reach places blame never reaches. Because the person you love may already know things feel different. They may feel the distance too. They may also be scared to say it first. And this is where many couples fail. They wait for the other person to care first. They wait for the apology first. They wait for the effort first. They wait so long that love becomes a standoff. But repair is not about who moves first. It is about whether the relationship is still worth moving toward. And sometimes the strongest thing someone can do is not walk away to protect their pride. It is to turn toward the person and say, "I still want to understand you." Not beg, not chase, not lose yourself. Just turn toward them with honesty. Because repair does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means finally looking at what happened without trying to destroy each other with it. It means noticing the small injuries before they become the whole story. It means asking, "What did you feel when I did that?" and actually staying present for the answer. It means saying, "I did not realize that hurt you that deeply," without immediately defending yourself. That is where emotional safety starts coming back. Not from perfect words, from the feeling that your pain will not be mocked, ignored, or used against you. A relationship begins to heal when both people can be honest without being punished for it. But repair also needs behavior. Words can open the door, but behavior is what makes someone believe the door is real. If someone says they care but nothing changes, the heart stops trusting the sentence. Real repair is not dramatic. It is consistent. It is answering with more patience. It is putting the phone down when your partner is trying to connect. It is touching their hand again. It is asking one more question instead of assuming. It is apologizing without making them comfort you. It is remembering that love is not only something you feel, it is something the other person experiences through you. And this is the part that can quietly save a relationship. You do not always need one huge conversation to fix everything. Sometimes you need many smaller moments where both people stop abandoning the connection. One softer response, one honest check-in, one real apology, one moment where you choose closeness instead of pride, one moment where you say what you mean before resentment says it for you. Because resentment is often love that did not feel safe enough to speak, and if you catch it early, it can still become honesty. But if you ignore it too long, it becomes distance. So before it feels too late, look for what is still alive. Is there still care under the frustration? Is there still tenderness under the silence? Is there still a part of you that wants to reach for them, even if you are tired? If the answer is yes, then the relationship may not need a perfect ending. It may need a braver beginning. A beginning where both people stop waiting to be understood and start becoming easier to understand. A beginning where love is not measured by who wins the argument, but by who protects the connection when it is fragile. Because every relationship will have moments where it feels close to breaking. The difference is whether both people keep pulling away or whether someone finally says, "Come here. Let's not lose each other like this." Sometimes repair begins with that. Not a grand promise, not a perfect speech, just one quiet moment where love stops defending itself and starts reaching again. And maybe that is how you save something before it is too late. You stop waiting for the relationship to feel easy again, and you start treating it like something still worth caring for.